Hey guys, Justin Picker back with another video today for you. Just coming with a question that's come in of how do I get the best valuation for my property? And it's quite varied, but there's a few different responses here and a few avenues for us to look at. So a couple of things that we find when you are looking at getting the best valuation for your property. There's obviously AVMs, like your digital ones, which usually come up instantly. You've got desktop valuations and curbside valuations where it goes to a valuer. If it's desktop, they're at a computer. If it's a curbside, they might drive past it and they'll give like an external valuation of the property based on market trends and current prices, etc. But it's still digital. Then you've got a short form or a full valuation where they're going to go through and inspect the property. So what we find is AVMs, instant, quick, positives can be really, really good, and they're based on market trends. Your desktops, those type of valuations might take a day or two to come in. They do go to a paneled valuer. So they're going to be looking at the scenarios there and giving you back a figure and a report. And then you've also got a full valuer as well, where they're going to book an appointment, come to your house, check out the property, make sure it's all good, look at the data and trends, but they're going to see inside the property and external. So sometimes these AVMs don't have, if you've done a renovation, if you've put a pool and you've done up your kitchen and bathroom and all that stuff, this valuation here isn't going to pick it up the AVM. So sometimes a full valuation might be more essential in regards to your scenario, and it may come in higher if you've done the work. The other side of the coin is that sometimes an AVM may come in higher if it's just based on market trends and the property hasn't had too much done to that, or also a desktop as well. If it's pretty similar to what you're seeing, sometimes they might come in better suited to your scenario. A full valuation, if we're kind of looking at between the three of them, generally in my opinion, a full valuer is going to be a bit more conservative because it's his on the line. If he gets it wrong, if he's done a full inspection and it's way out of the metrics, he could be personally liable for that if that valuation is incorrect or not accurate. So we find they generally tend to come in on the conservative side, as they obviously want to cover themselves if anything happens. So I'll give you an example. Is just had a client recently refinance, and there was a few options that we looked at. So I had one bank that came in 900,000. I had a couple of other valuations that came in at 850, and then there was another AVM that came in at 768. Now, obviously the customer wanted the most money. They were looking to go with the lender that had 900,000, but they didn't offer a cashback bonus and the rate was a bit more expensive over here. And so they actually decided to go for the lender that had that valuation of about that with the sevens in front of it, 780 or 760. I can't remember what I just said, but they've gone ahead with that one because they offered a cashback. They didn't want to get as much equity out, and they obviously wanted the cheaper rate. So that worked out better for them, and that's totally fine. They still got some equity, but it obviously could have been nearly 100 grand more if they had have chosen another bank, but obviously paid a bit of a premium for that. So it always comes down to your scenario, and if there's a lender that's going to give you a high valuation but it's going to cost you more, you've obviously got to make that assessment. Is that right for you, or do you only need to get 50 grand instead of 100? Or if you really want to get 500,000 out instead of 350 from another bank, that's where we've got to weigh up that assessment and see what's beneficial for you, and obviously what works alongside your goals as we go along. So every scenario is different. This is obviously the beauty of being a broker. No story is the same. Everyone's scenario is always different, has different goals, different purposes, and we've seen a fair bit of this over the years. So obviously here to help you out if you find yourself in this scenario, you want to refinance, you want to restructure, you want to look at different options. There's many avenues, many different banks' policies we need to adhere to, and obviously it's our role here to find that one that suits you best. So if you do want to look at that, please feel free to reach out, shoot us an email, call, text, through the socials, whatever it is, and we look forward to working with you soon. Cheers.